Righty then, it looks like it's 7 o'clock, so we will call the Wednesday, May 19th, 2021 Brimfield Township Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. If we could please have a roll call.
All right. Bruce Nippenberg,
Here.
Scott Etling,
Here.
Vince Burdacco,
Here.
Ed Schutte, Sean Phillips, William Kramer, and Clayton Popick.
Here.
Okay, Clayton, you will be a voting member tonight. Also present is Economic Development Director and Zoning Inspector Michael Ladd, myself, Zoning Secretary Lauren Kaufman, and, oh, well, I guess I am Brian tonight, so no Brian.
Oh, Brian. Righty. We have minutes from the last meeting. This would be for March 17th. We had no meeting in April. Sorry.
I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
We'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of accepting the March minutes, if we could have a roll call.
All right, Bruce Nippenberg,
Yes.
Scott Etling,
Yes.
Vince Burdacco,
Yes.
Sean Phillips, and Clayton Popick.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
Well, she forgetting or something?
All righty.
I know.
We have an agenda. We have an agenda this evening. There are two things on the agenda. We have a motion regarding our agenda.
Make a motion, we accept the agenda as posted.
I'll second it.
Righty, has everything been properly addressed in the mail sent out, so forth?
Yes, it has.
We have a motion and a second to accept the agenda. All those in favor, may I have a roll call, please?
Bruce Nippenberg,
Yes.
Scott Etling, Scott Etling,
Yes.
Vince Burdacco,
Yes.
Sean Phillips, and Clayton Popick.
Yes.
All right, so I believe we have two applicants. Are they, and they're both live tonight. So we're going ahead and swear both of you in at the same time. And if there's anybody else, I don't see anybody else online. So if you would please, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will give before this board is to the best of your knowledge, an accurate and truthful presentation of the facts? If so, when your name is called, say I do and state your name and your relationship to the case, please.
Okay, Sharon Bowe,
I do, and I am the owner of the property.
okay, and Jerry Hawkins.
Present, yes. I do.
So the first item on the agenda is a variance request. This is at 1144 Sunview Drive, Mogador, Ohio, 44260. It's a variance request. Application is requesting a variance to place an accessory building on the adjacent lot to the applicant's primary building. No principal building on this lot. This would be in regards to zoning resolution section 510.03.a. Except as otherwise specified in the resolution, all lots shall be permitted a maximum of 2 accessory buildings or structures in association with the principal building. Okay, well, if you, Sharon, if you would please tell us what it is you're looking for.
Okay, so there's a little story and how we all arrived at this kind of the situation. So the additional lot has, well, at this point, like 2 small buildings on it, but there was a larger building on the back, and our property backs up to Mogador Reservoir, which the city of Akron takes care of. So subsequently, we've had several large trees from the property fall on our property, and the city won't insure it. So the decision was made when the second one kind of got smashed and had to be rebuilt, to try to add a garage on that lot and move it further up in the lot to get it away from the edge of the tree line back there, just to stop the hassle. So what we're asking for is to do, it's a 3-car pole building to be able to put that on that adjacent lot.
Now, there's no way to just combine the lots then, or instead make it one lot?
Well, you know what? That was certainly an option. And my mom always felt like, you know, if one day, and I don't even know if that lot's buildable now because of the zoning changes, it's a half-acre lot. You know, her theory always was, well, what if one of you kids want to build on that lot one point? So I said, well, if we put up a pole building can go down real easy if that ever becomes the case. And so that's why she didn't want it combined into one legal description. That makes sense.
Okay. So if you decide to sell the lot, you would remove the pole building?
I can't imagine that lot would ever be sold separately.
Okay.
I mean, you can never say never. I realize that. But if it had to come down, I guess it would have to come down, but where we wanted to place it was toward the back of the lot. So there'd still be room in the front of the lot if someone wanted to build on that lot. We pushed it back far enough that we think if more of those trees come down, we won't suffer any damage.
I was looking at it, would there be room? I mean, if you sold it with the pole barn on it, would there be room to put a primary structure in front of it?
There would be, yeah, because this is not going to start till the back of the primary structure that's there. So it's going to be behind that structure, but not all the way to the back to keep us off the property line in the back to eliminate the issues that we've had with the trees that come down back there.
And I see you have the actual drive for the pole building. That's going to run into the driveway of your house?
Yeah, we figured we would just come off the other driveway and kind of shoot over there so that when we concrete, you know, I mean, you're not walking across, you know, grass all the way to, you know, over to the house. So the excavator said, depending on where you're going to put that, you know, they'll finalize exactly where the driveway is going to come. But our thought was to come off of, it's a 3-car wide driveway at the home now. So the thought was just to come off of that instead of having to put in another culvert and another driveway, which I think would look kind of tacky. So we just wanted to make it look more cohesive that way.
And is this going to resemble the house at all, or, I mean, I noticed you have.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I
So the
noticed
house-
you put a letter in saying that it was gonna look rather nice.
Well, so the house is pink brick and we can't get that because the idea, originally we thought we would build, before all this came up, we would try to brick it so it would match the house, but they don't make that brick. That house was built in 1962. So, and then it was less like, well, I think we better stick with the pole barn if we want to tear it down. It's not like a whole lot of demolition at some point if it has to come down. So what we are doing, it's a pink brick. So we're going to go with like a red, not like a bright red, but it's more like a canyon red color. And it will have around the bottom 3.5 feet. We're going to put stone around the bottom and stone it so it looks a little bit better. And then it'll have like a metal roof. So the colors will match and will kind of complement the house, but yet not take away from the house. That our goal was, we didn't want it to look like just an old garage out there.
And the use for the building?
Well, so we garden, so we have a lot of tractors, we have a lot of tillers. We actually mow the gas pipeline behind our house. So we have a tractor that we mow and keep that mowed down back there. So we have a lot of that kind of equipment. The garage that's attached to the house is small. So to try to put 2 cars in it is almost impossible. So that was the other reason. So we could have another vehicle in the garage, and then we both ride motorcycles. And so we wanted to have just a little bit extra space.
So no business will be run out of the.
Oh, no, heavens no. He's retired and I'm ready to retire. I got to hang in there till next May.
Oh,
Okay. So no secondary income to your retirement is going to come from that building?
No, heck no. No.
To be remiss if we didn't ask, what about exterior lighting?
I'm sorry.
So what about exterior lighting? Any kind of exterior lighting that's going to be great or?
The way, I don't know if you saw the pictures of how the garage is going to sit. It's going to be 3 garage units. And I mean, my husband's an electrician by trade. So there will be, lights on the front, and it'll look nice. Just exterior lights, no big, nothing on pole lights or poles or anything like that. Nothing major, no floodlights, no, nothing like that. You're in the country. You're in the country for a reason, who wants lights?
So no light that would leave your property is, I think.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Nope.
looks good.
Is this going to create any water runoff that you need to worry about, or how are you handling that?
Well, actually, it's going to help the water runoff because the lot that the house is on is actually a little bit higher. So all of that water kind of runs off to that lot. So it's a little bit low. So the excavator is going to put in some drains and run some pipe and, run it out so that it'll actually eliminate and help us out a little bit. So our garden won't be flooded when it rains.
Do we have any other questions from the board?
She answered what I had.
And does the zoning department have any issues as far as setbacks, so forth?
No, I mean, the biggest thing was, just building on the lot that wasn't combined. So,
Okay. And did we have anything in opposition? Any neighbors call in or write
No.
letters?
No, we didn't have any in opposition, but we had one in favor. The Lemons family did call in, and they're at 1149 Sunview, and they just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that they were in support of what the Bows were going to do. So no opposition, but 1-4.
There are no other questions. We'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the variance.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the variance to allow this accessory building to be built, I guess, by itself on the next door lot. Any other questions? We could please have a roll call vote.
Bruce Dippenberg,
Approve.
Scott Etling,
Approve.
Vince Bordacco,
Approve.
Sean Phillips,
Approve.
and Clayton Pavick.
Approve.
Have your variance. go ahead and contact the zoning department and they'll take care of all the paperwork for you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks for y'all's time.
Good
Right.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, the second item on our agenda for this evening is at address 4663 State Route 43, Kent, Ohio. It's a conditional use request. Applicant is requesting a conditional use to use a permit to keep a residential structure with a home-based business in the GC district. Zoning resolution section 520.06, non-conforming use of a building, structure, or land shall not be changed or situated to another non-conforming use unless the Board of Zoning Appeals decides that the proposed non-conforming use is less conflict with the character and use of the application zoning district than the existing non-conforming use. In permitting such change, the Board of Zoning Appeals may require appropriate conditions and safeguards in accordance with other provisions of this resolution. I think after that, we'll ask the zoning department if they have any comments on it.
So what we're having, this is on State Route 43. And it's a residential structure, which is a non-conforming use in the general commercial district. And what he wants to do is a home-based business with selling flowers out of it on State Route 43. Jerry is a tenant there. We did get the land owner to sign off on the variance request. The concern is we'd go from one non-conforming use in the general commercial district to a residential structure and horticulture out of the house compared to just residential in the GC district. And here,
But the house is already there.
Yes.
house is there. Mhm.
Okay.
It's just the use.
Just the use.
And then, traffic pattern on 43, people backing in and out of 43, there's some concerns.
Okay. Jerry, would you like to tell us what you want to do with?
Yes. Yeah, the house is there and it's really not of good use as we speak. I'm in there trying to get the landscaping and whatnot, presentable to the public and, ourselves. But the house itself won't be used for the business, and it will be more than flowers. We go into produce, line of produce, vegetables and fruits throughout the seasonal season. We'll go into fruits and vegetables, sweet corn, and then from there we'll go into the cider and pumpkins and, through the fall. The house won't be used for customers to income or out. There won't be no allowance of the customers to come in and out of the home. So the house is not going to be used for the business at all, actually. And there are two parking lots. There's one to the driveway for the home, and there's one just to the right of the driveway. Between us and another business, the Value Max car dealer. And there's behind that home, there's 30 acres of property that we can, make use of. But the use of the property itself would just be the property. There won't be no buildings put up. There won't be nothing that's going to interfere with businesses that they're already in business. Just nice tables and have it to look nice for the people in the, the community. So that's what we do. We try to help and serve the community.
So I was looking at your drawings. So basically, you're just going to have tables set up that are.
Yeah, it's going to be there in the lawn area between the driveways. There's a lawn area there between the two driveways, one to the home and one to the right. It goes down for the house. There's a garage behind the house that first driveway goes into.
And, the other part of the code with the home-based business is not to create any traffic. That's a whole nother section of the code where you're not creating traffic and people coming in and out, in residential districts. However, this is a little bit unique because it's the GC district.
Sure. Now, do you actually go all the way over, your property go all the way over to Howe Road or?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So which way will be like customers be coming in, off 43 or off Howe Road?
They would be coming, if they were going to the business off of Howe Road, they would be turning right. Then the Value Max, and then the driveway, and then the residential home and driveway.
So there is no driveway actually going to Howe Road. That's,
No, there's not.
Just 43.
All 43.
43.
On 43, yes.
And what are your hours of business? Typically?
Would be from 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m., 6, 7 p.m., according to the time change and what's in season at the time. But that would be periodically in the beginning, the hours.
7 days or,
Yeah, 6 days anyway, and 7 hours went from 9 to 7.
I guess my issue right off the bat is traffic coming off of 43.
Well, there is a red light there by Howe Road that stops a lot of the traffic for the incoming and outcoming of the traffic. So the people's like, it won't be like a big herd, like at a big flea market or like at a big show, like car show. It's just like people periodically come, 2 or 3 at a time, maybe. I'm not really sure how it would go there. But we've taken all that into consideration, and we feel that would work, for that location, because it's in the right area. There's a lot of free land there, so it's not really a congested area. Other than certain times of the day, like in the morning from like 7 to 8:30, and then from the evening from like 4 to 5:30 or 6. So we've taken that into consideration as well.
is there any way to bring the driveway off of Howe Road rather than 43?
To my best of my knowledge, at this point, no, unless it would go into Value Max, which is the dealer next to the business that we're going to, operate, hopefully.
Is the produce so forth, is this, you're going to be growing on this land? Is it?
Yes, it would. No, it won't be. It's grown in Manaway, and we've also worked with the Bateguas in the past as well. They grow the flowers and have the landscaping supplies and stuff that we use as well. So it would be the local farmers in this area, the community that grows vegetables and produce.
Oh, okay. So there'll be, are you considering employees then, or are you talking
Well, my
about?
brother and I have 2 daughters, and they'll be working, with going to the produce and getting it ready for sale. And my brother William and I will be the ones that goes out and to either pick up the produce or they'll drop it off to us, whichever they prefer.
Okay, so you're not inviting like the farmer down the street to come set up a booth in your
Oh
property?
no, not absolutely. This will be
Okay.
ours only. No, not at all. No. I'm sorry
Okay.
it sounds so crazy, but it's really a nice operation. Really, it's really calm and really clean. It's very nice looking.
It ain't nothing too spectacular.
So there won't, you say you're not putting up any kind of structure, so
Oh, no.
On poor weather days, you won't be open, or?
Well, there'll be like a to keep the employees, I guess, about daughters and myself from burning up. We'll have like an umbrella and stuff out for shade or whatever, rainstorm. But produce grows outside anyway, so I don't think the rainstorms would hurt it quite,
Yeah, we're
Right.
But at the end of the day, are you picking up the tables and umbrellas and putting them away?
Well, the umbrellas, of course, I would take down, but the tables I prefer to leave because that's kind of something that a structure that we don't want to blow away, but they're easy to be moved if need be.
So there, you're talking about some fairly heavy, I mean, to me, I
Well,
don't.
it's going to be like a 36 inches tall. The tables will be about 4 feet wide by 8 feet long. There'll probably be around 4 of those. And of course, we'll have the watermelons in the lawn area off the ground on pallets. So there won't be a lot of heavy table structures at all. No, like a sawhorse and a table to go on the top of them. So that's about it as far as we use for tables.
Yeah, I'm just trying to kind of sort of picture it in my mind that, to me, it doesn't, you know, it just doesn't look very nice. I don't know what your neighbors might think about it. As far as property value in the area, so forth, I'm not sure.
Mike, I guess I would have a question. Would this be considered like a temporary business because there's no permanent structure?
Are you
Yeah,
asking
I mean,
that
it-
question,
he's applying for a home-based business, and that's where, you know, it really doesn't fit any definition of a home-based business whatsoever.
This
And
isn't
then we
his
look
home,
at,
though.
you know, this is where he lives.
Oh, it is.
It's a
Okay.
residential structure. Yep. So it's not his home, but he rents there. And, you know, so the confusing part is that it's a non-conforming use in a general commercial district. So, you know, when we zoned this general commercial years ago, all the residential homes became non-conforming uses unless they sell and become a commercial use. You know, where a farmer's market would fit in a general commercial district if it was built for that, and that's the only use. But he's living there, so there's an issue there because, like I said, it doesn't fit any definition of home-based business that we have in a resolution.
I'm curious that that you say there's at least 30 acres.
there is, yes, of the entire property that he owns.
Okay. I'm just curious whether or not it falls under agricultural use, and which would mean it would fall under the state of Ohio. I'm not positive.
Well, he's not technically growing it. He's just packaging it.
Right, yeah, so
Yeah,
Man, I don't think
he's
if he were growing it and he has more than 5 acres, I think he's allowed to put up a stand. But
he would be allowed to do that if he was growing his own there, and then you know, he'd have to fill out the agricultural forms both with us and then with the county as well.
right, okay. So this isn't covered by that either.
No.
No, we have that as an example. There's a guy on Talmadge Road that's actually selling wood. And we encountered it, and he was cutting it up, and I have him moving it all to the back, and he's getting some up front. But we went through this whole thing, and he's declared agriculture. He's got over 5 acres, and he's actually using the wood on his property. So after a long conversation with the prosecutor's office, that's correct. So
Till he runs out of wood, he's legal.
till he runs out of wood. That's right.
Hey,
How are you going to advertise this business?
Well, it just would be, there won't be no road signs, like signs on the side of the road. There won't be none of those. It just have the signs up where the tables would be, what we have, and what's, you know, neighbors, Portage County neighbors, and that's where I advertise all the stuff on. Online, there won't be nothing that's dramatically they won't look bad at all, I promise. Because looking at it from the road, you would probably want to know what's there on the tables. So I'd have like a sign that says local grown produce, you know, that they can visualize from the road. But it won't be out where the mailboxes are or the phone poles or whatever.
Yeah, I guess my, you know, just voicing a concern, my concern is
Right.
traffic on 43. I know at that light, you know, coming from Kent, people tend to just jump on it, and I'd hate to see somebody on the brakes.
And you can visualize it coming from the Kent area. It's really vigilant. You can really see the house way before you get to that area. So
Yeah, I have basically have the two concerns. One would be the safety coming in and out of 43. You know, again, I go back to if it were possible, put a drive-in off of Howe Road, might make traffic a little better. You do have a parking lot. People could turn around, so they're not going to have to back out onto 43. Is that
right,
correct?
that is true. That's correct. Yes, absolutely. And if we do see them backing out there, we'll stop one. So I don't foresee that happening.
Sure.
Because there's plenty of room, like you said, there's a parking lot up there that's paved, it's not cracked or it's not really in bad shape. So they have plenty of room to turn around and leave. Or drive through the lawn area because it's adjacent to the next parking area or the next drive.
The main thing is coming from one non-conforming use to another, it's got to be less detrimental of a use and a lower impact to that district than what the non-conforming use is now. I mean, that's the main concern.
Correct. Okay. Do we have any other questions from the board? Or did we have any comments from any letters, any phone calls regarding the proposal?
No, we didn't get any on this one.
And you s- I already have somebody walking by my house. You said the property owner signed off on this?
Yes. Yes, we do.
And do we
Yes,
have a
that's correct.
copy? Do we have a copy? We have a copy of
Yes,
that?
we do. Yeah, we do have a copy of it.
It's up on the website too. He did sign the application, so.
Okay, I did. Okay, that was the letter I was looking at. Okay. Well, my personal view on it is, I don't know how it can remain attractive, and I don't like the fact that we're coming in and off of 43.
I guess
But
I
other
would
than
echo
that,
too.
unless we have other comments or questions from the board, I'd like to call the question.
I guess I would echo the same concerns.
I agree with that also. Plus, I don't know how attractive that would be. Later on, you might get some complaints about it.
Have any motion, or do we have more discussion? I will move to deny then, if we can get a second.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to deny the application. We could please have a roll call vote.
Bruce Nippenberg,
Deny.
Scott Etling,
No.
Vince Bardacco,
And
Sean Phillips, and Clayton Popick.
Deny.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else, sir?
Yeah, there's nothing else. I mean, you're welcome to remain. We just have for the good of the order and setting next month's meeting.
Right. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
thank you. Sorry.
Okay, do we have anything for the good of the order?
No, I mean, other than a lot of stuff going on in town, we've got Aldi's we're working on, Valvoline, Wave Wash, and there's a Jiffy Lube as well coming in. And then we have Hamrick is moving their business from Suffield and building a 65,000 square foot building behind Meyer. So we're working on that as well. And then we have another light industrial user coming in back behind Menards. So Lauren and I are busy. We're keeping, it's a record year. We set the record for permits a month and a half ago, and then we just keep going. So it's, we've never seen a year this busy yet. So yeah, it's good news.
Yes, very good news.
Good.
Township is growing.
Yes. The comprehensive land use plan
Okay.
is done. And the trustees have approved it, so you'll be seeing that on the website. And I know you have probably some draft copies of it that were sent, or at least you can look at, but we'll send the hard copies out to everybody That's the 2050 land use, and we're keeping all the agriculture, all the farms, all the RR district. We're going to increase a little bit of residential, maybe 2 to 3% over the years, and then cap it at that. We'll be out of space for residential at that point, and then we've got about 5 to 7% commercial yet to grow, and that leaves about 30% agriculture. So we're in there, and then with the parks, it adds another 8% in there. So it's going to be a good balance.
We in danger of becoming a city?
No.
Maybe a village, but.
Hey, whatever, as long as we don't have to pay taxes.
No, I don't foresee the trustees ever doing that. I mean, that was part of the whole reasoning of doing the comprehensive land use plan, is making sure that we lock in the land and keep it a township. I don't think anybody wants to lose their rights as a township, being able to shoot in town, several things. So, and taxes too. So, and right now we're in a good spot for taxes going forward. I know it seems a little bit high with some of the things that came across recently, but it's going to lower now as we're bringing businesses into the JEDs. There's some big payrolls coming in, and we do get payroll tax out of those JEDs, which is going to lower everybody's taxes. So
JEDs help prevent the annexation, which would be the only reason not to be a township.
that's right.
Yep.
Yep, but we're covered. We got half of it in the Talmadge JED and half in the Kent. So nobody can annex anything for 100 years. So we're good.
Good.
But that's my news.
All good news.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments? Do we have something? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be in person in June. They didn't vote on it today yet, but we're going to go ahead and set the meeting in person. They discussed it because everything opens up after June the 2nd. And the trustees have talked about using the community center for our meetings, and they're getting IT to set it up as well. I know it's going to be all in person in June.
We will have things for the board in June.
Yes.
All right. So what are we looking at? June, what is that, 16th?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we have a meeting then for June 16th.
Right now we have 2 applications. They didn't come in yet, but they said they will be. So, and one of them is for a sign at Jiffy Lube. One of their signs is a little bit larger. That's all.
All right, then we'll entertain one last motion.
I moved that we adjourn.
I was going to say, are we all just going to stay here? Or?
I second. I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. If we could please have a roll call vote.
Bruce Diffenberg,
Yes.
Scott Etling,
Yes.
Vince Bordacco,
Yes.
John Phillips,
Yes.
and Clayton Popick.
Yes.
All right.
You got William Kramer too there. So.
Oh, I do see showed up. All right.
Oh,
Oh, he
okay.
showed up. Hello, Bill.
All righty then. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take
Have a
care,
good night.
everyone. Thank you.